This is the Dark Entertainment Network. I am Rose Noir, your underground icon. The stories you are about to hear aren't fiction. They're buried truths, redacted histories, and the kind of silence that screams. This channel was demonetized for telling them. No ads, no sponsors, just the archives and us. Welcome, dear fiends, to the den. Hello, dear fiends of the den. We are back today with what my family would call the Scandalooz. This is the royal scandal that is rocking everything more than Harry and Meghan and all of their antics is Randy Andy and Fergie. So, if you didn't know, Sarah Ferguson was just caught red handed and removed as the patron of some of her charities because she had written an email to none other than Jeffrey Epstein. Let's dive in. Let's just start with the state visit and the fact that in his speech, Donald Trump called America the hottest country in the world and thanked the UK for their help in that. I am literally wearing pearls to clutch today from this whole thing, and he said the same thing in the UN speech. I got nothing on that, but King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla hosted Trump and Melania at Windsor Castle. They had the lavish banquet, the military flyovers, the wreath at Queen Elizabeth's tomb, and Trump praised William as a remarkable son, conspicuously omitting Harry, and we'll get to Harry later on. And he called Princess Catherine radiant, healthy, and beautiful, which I think was something he should not have said healthy. I just don't think it's something you should bring up someone else's health. Now, at this time, activists projected images of Trump and Epstein onto the Windsor Castle walls, and the UK ambassador Peter Mandelson was fired days earlier over his Epstein ties. So these Trump Not Welcome rallies were organized by the Stop Trump Coalition in London and Scotland, who we know hates Trump. So the problem is that Trump has an association with Epstein, and he's been doing everything he can to distract from what he himself campaigned on. But what's happening is everybody's getting caught. So, I mean, the whole thing is bad timing, and I know that the royal family is supposed to be non-political, but if they don't want Prince Andrew as part of anything because of his ties to Epstein, but he's shown up on certain occasions, and so has Sarah Ferguson, that we all call Fergie, why was Trump there? I'm just saying. Now, Fergie is facing literally a brutal reckoning after emails surfaced calling Jeffrey Epstein her, quote, supreme friend. And this is just weeks after publicly denouncing him. So, multiple charities, including Julia's House and the Teenage Cancer Trust, have dropped her as a patron. I mean, this is like beyond humiliation. This is worse than Toegate, Fergie. Now, Prince William, is reportedly pressuring King Charles to fully banish both Fergie and Prince Andrew from royal events and evict them from Royal Lodge, which is, I know, something King Charles wanted to do for a long time. I don't think they should get to live on any of those grace and favor properties of the crown now. I'm sorry. They both have an affiliation to Epstein. And if the UK ambassador is out, they need to be out. And we know what we need to do here in the US, because any affiliation with Epstein, you should be out. We know what Kash Patel said, that Epstein, I can't even get the words out. He trafficked to himself. No, he did not. Anyway, so what is happening with the royal family is they don't want now people staring and just going to get a glimpse of Andrew and Fergie. And they were at the last family funeral. So that's probably the last time I believe we're going to see them in public, because I don't think either of them should have a platform anymore. That's just my personal opinion. Agree with me, disagree with me. I don't care. Just keep it polite in the comments. But I personally just don't believe she or Prince Andrew should have a platform. I don't believe anyone with an association to to Epstein should have a platform. I mean, it makes me think, and it makes me go back to Princess Diana's car crash. And if you think about recently, Anne Heche was killed in a car crash, and she was working on a documentary about human trafficking. Leslie Jordan was killed in a car crash, and he was otherwise fine. It was so strange, right? Nobody knew he was sick or anything. How did he just end up like having some sort of massive coronary while he was driving? To me, it's highly suspicious. Now, these were people both tied to Ellen, who's been hiding out in the UK, and I think it's because of connections to Diddy. But everybody's running to the UK. It's even rumored that Beyonce and Jay-Z are buying in Cotswold, exactly where Ellen and Portia live, and where JD Vance is oddly vacationing. So something weird is going on here, people. And it's all connected to this list. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Harry or Meghan, but it seems like they may have escaped some of this particular fallout, but they have rumors and issues of their own. Now, the original Harry and Meghan series on Netflix dropped in December of 22, and this is Harry declaring no one knows the full truth, we know the truth, and it tackled the royal hierarchy and some media manipulation, whatever, and Meghan's mental health struggles. Again, okay, we all have mental health struggles, whatever. But they had this $100 million deal. Now, there is a rumored split, but Netflix quietly re signed Harry and Meghan in August of 2025, but this is on a scaled back first look deal. So now Archwell Productions is developing this new content. So another season of With Love Meghan, this lifestyle focused, boring thing where Chrissy Teigen was a guest, and she is the ultimate in bullies. And Meghan has been accused of bullying palace staff. So there you go. A holiday special filmed at their California home. Why? What other talent do you have? It's not like Bing Crosby or something. It's just so weird. I think they think that they're like these cross between like royals and celebrities, and they should just, get whatever they want, and everyone should like ooh and ah over it. Now they're also making a film adaptation of the book Meet Me at the Lake, and a documentary short about Uganda's viral Masaka kids. Now, I don't understand. None of these things go together. If you want to stick with lifestyle and as ever, stick with it. If you want to do film adaptations of movies, stick with that. If you want to do documentaries, stick with that. This is not focused. Now, there's active development on additional projects, which insiders suspect include, and I'll get this, a paranormal themed docu-series, because Meghan is now trying to do something of The Crown meets X-Files, where Meghan and psychic advisors have been consulted throughout history during royal crises and royal residences and their ghostly histories. But this is just weird. Now it's also Meghan's rumored interest in energy healing and ancestral clearing. And the working title possibly is The Veil and the Crown, but it's been unconfirmed. Now, Crazy Days and Nights, gossip site, is hinting at a quote, royal adjacent couple pitching this series behind the hauntings and frequent phenomenon and this ancestral trauma. It's not necessarily Harry and Meghan. It's definitely Harry and Meghan. So let's get into a couple of blind items I found about these two. Well, mostly Meghan. So, what I've heard in the past is that Netflix somehow ended up owning 50% of As Ever products. And according to this blind item revealed September 4th, 2025, the streaming giant will never earn back the amount of money they have lost partnering with the illiterate one, and that is Netflix and Meghan Markle. And the next Meghan Markle little blind item we have here is from September 20th, 2025, and it reads, "The illiterate one is quietly liquidating inventory. Could this be the end?" And it probably is. Honestly, it's good to know that although the royals try to put on a certain air, and sometimes they do great things, some of them are really, really human and messed up, but none of them should have anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein. And what I'm going to talk about next is Meghan Markle's supposed yacht girl ties to Epstein and Prince Andrew. Thank you for joining me in the den. Don't forget, because I bring you the truth, the den has been demonetized, and it's a signal from the shadows. So if you'd like to support the dark entertainment and Rose Noir's investigations, you can do so by tipping the detective. The paypal.me link is in the bio. Again, thank you so much for joining me in the den. If you've got something to say, send me an email at welcometothedenpodcast@gmail.com.